When you hear the term IT certification, you probably picture late night coding sessions and memorizing complex command lines, right? But what if one of the most popular tech credentials in the world was designed specifically for people who times don't times code?
That's the exact paradox of the Microsoft AZ-900. It's less of a technical exam and more of a cloud literacy test for the modern business world.
So we're looking at the AZ-900 today, Microsoft's foundational Azure certification. It's designed as a global entry point for anyone, from students to execs, to prove they understand cloud basics like security and pricing without needing any prior technical or coding experience.
Exactly. And what's interesting is that it's not just for IT people anymore. We're seeing marketing and sales teams flocking to this because in 2024, if you can't explain the value of the cloud to a client, you're essentially speaking a dead language.
That makes sense.
Well, here's the real aha moment. Microsoft has positioned this as a zero barrier exam. There are no prerequisites. You could be a history major or a retired manager, and within a few weeks of study, you're holding a credential from $1 trillion tech giant.
So it's less about can you build it and more about do you understand why we're building it in the first place?
That's it. Exactly. It's strategic business knowledge disguised as a tech cert.
Right? It's about the why and the what. But to pass, you actually have to navigate the specific architecture Microsoft has built, which brings us to how the exam is actually structured.
It's a pretty straightforward setup, but with a few quirks.
When you sit down for the test, you've got about an hour, maybe a bit more, to tackle 40 to 60 questions. It's a mix of formats, everything from simple multiple choice to matching items on a map. You need a 700 to pass, and while the standard price is $99, there's a well-known hack involving Microsoft's virtual training days, where you can get a voucher for free.
That voucher tip is huge. It turns the certification into a no-brainer investment of time. And, don't let the 700 point passing score psych you out. It's a scaled score, which means not all questions are weighted equally. Some are even pilot questions that Microsoft is testing for future exams, and they don't count toward your score at all, though you won't know which is which.
Got it. So treat every question like it's the one that makes or breaks you. But beyond the format, the real meat of the exam lies in the 3 core domains you have to master.
Absolutely. This is where you focus your study time.
The syllabus is divided into 3 parts. You've got cloud concepts, which covers the basics, like pay-as-you-go models. Then the big one, Azure architecture, which covers the actual services like SQL and VNets. And finally, governance, which is all about cost management and policies.
Most people spend too much time on the basic definitions and not enough on the architecture. You really need to know the difference between IaaS, PaaS, and SaaS. It's the who manages what part that trips people up. The shared responsibility model is the backbone of the whole exam.
I see. So it's not just about what a service does, but who's responsible for its security and maintenance.
Exactly. And there's a brilliant aha moment here regarding cost. The exam heavily tests tools like the TCO calculator and Azure Advisor. That governance and cost management section is treated with almost the same importance as the core technology.
Right. Because the biggest fear companies have about the cloud isn't technology, it's getting a surprise $50,000 bill at the end of the month.
Precisely. Microsoft wants you to prove you know how to keep the lights on without burning the house down financially. They're certifying that you can be a responsible cloud citizen.
So it's basically cloud accounting meets digital engineering. If you can master those 3 pillars, you're well on your way to that certification.
You've got it. So, to wrap it all up, the AZ-900 is really this powerful, non-technical cloud literacy credential that has 0 prerequisites, making it perfect for anyone in or out of IT. The biggest part of the test is the architecture know your core Azure services. But remember the free hack. Use those virtual training days to skip the exam fee. And finally, really nail the shared responsibility model. Understanding what you're responsible for versus what Microsoft handles is the key to it all.